Coming up on this issue of Marlborough Magazine, we'll take you down Main Street for an inside look at the 7th annual Horatio Alger Street Fair. The Marlborough Fire Department gave a demonstration on fire safety. We'll show you the highlights. And we'll introduce you to a very musical group at the Senior Center. All this plus more in this issue of Marlborough Magazine.
Hello and welcome to the first ever Marlborough Magazine. I'm Rochelle Creswell. What is Marlborough Magazine? Well, this is a program that's going to showcase what's going on in our city. And for it to work effectively, we could use your help. So if you have any suggestions, please call us at 481-1373. Our first story takes us to Main Street for the 7th annual Horatio Alger Street Fair.
For the last 7 years, the city of Marlborough has held the Horatio Alger Street Fair. There are always plenty of things to do, see, and buy. Each of these years, the fair preparations begin right here in this meeting room, inside the Marlborough Chamber of Commerce.
We actually start working on this fair in February of each year through monthly meetings where the committee gets together and sort of does planning, but it's been 7 years now. So with the committee that I've got, which is about 12 to 15 people, they all pretty much know what they want to do and or what they have to do to make this a success.
A success is also the way Horatio Alger could be described. He is a man who once called Marlborough his home. How successful was he? Well, he only wrote 120 children's books and sold over 400 million copies.
Alger was such a popular writer in the 19th century that many publishers just scurried to publish his books, and some of them really made a killing because the books were so popular. And they continued to be popular right up through the 1930s. And there is still a real market for them.
A market that Ronald Murch is trying to capitalize on with his impressive collection of Horatio Alger Jr.'s books.
Well, these are all reprints. Some of them are as much as 150 years old, and most of them are a little over 100 years old. They're by many different publishers.
This street fair boasts many other things to keep you busy if book buying is not your favorite pastime. There are crafts, foods, and music to take in during your visit. Of course, the Chowder Fest has always been a big draw, and this year was no different. When the judges made their decision, it was the new kid in town that was crowned, Coral Seafoods. There were also some old kids in town. The Sudbury Militia was on hand to give people an idea of what life was like back in the days of the Revolutionary War.
We find by coming out here and events like this where we can engage the public, they can take a look at what we do, and we can talk to them about the way that people lived, the tents, the encampments, the way they cooked, and some of the music and some of the customs people had back then.
One of the more popular draws was located past City Hall. It's not because of fun, food, or entertainment. It's because of health issues. The Marlborough Lions Club was conducting eye exams for anyone who was interested. If you found out you needed treatments or glasses, but have no insurance, the Lions Club would take care of you through a partnership with lens crafters.
This is something we've been doing with the schools for years. I work through the school nurses, and any kids that need glasses, don't have the money, we send them up to LensCrafters. That's an agreement that LensCrafters has with Lions International, and it's worked out to be a very good partnership.
We catch an awful lot of, probably with each screening, maybe 5, 6 people that really need help and can't afford it.
To look at all the faces, it was plain to see that everyone had fun at the 7th Annual Horatio Alger Street Fair. If you missed out on the fun, it's never too early to start thinking about next year. I'm Dan Ginden for Marlborough Magazine.
And there is talk of putting a junior at the end of Alger's name for the street fair. Horatio Alger Sr. was his father, and the committee doesn't want there to be any confusion as to which Alger is being honored. A celebration of a different kind took place on the east side of town near the Sudbury line. The Home Depot had their grand opening recently. Now, if you thought you heard the sound of sawing followed by cheers, you weren't wrong. Many businesses have come and gone in this location throughout the years, but the city hopes that Home Depot will have the staying power.
I think it's great that this is open. I think it'll be a real boon to the Ward 2 and the east side of Marlborough to have the shopping center finally reopen. It sat empty for so long. And my hope is that that Home Depot will be a good neighbor to the people that live right behind them.
When a franchise giant moves into a town or a city, it can mean certain doom for any mom and pop stores. But the Chamber of Commerce doesn't think that will be the case here in Marlborough.
Personally, I think there's room for big stores like this, big warehouse store, and also your individual hardware stores and your paint stores. They might have to change a little bit the way they do business, but I know there's certain things I'll go to the hardware store for, and the paint store, and there's certain things I'll come here for. So, I think it's a plus for the city. I really do.
The Why Me Foundation helps children and families deal with the hardships of kids with cancer. And Marlborough has always been one location that they like to come back to. And this past summer they were here for a silent auction. The theme this time was a little different, but everyone still had a ghoulish time. Marlborough Magazine correspondent Linda Brophy has more.
Thanks, Michelle. We're here at the Holiday Inn for a very special Halloween party. More than 150 children and family members from Why Me attended this family fun event. The Halloween party was a colorful, fun, and lively event where children dressed in their holiday costumes were treated to dancing, clowns, prizes, and a costume parade. We had a chance to meet up with Jack from The Nightmare Before Christmas to tell us more.
Well, Why Me is a nonprofit organization that was established by a young girl at the age of 13 named Sherry Shepard. And what we do is we provide emotional and financial assistance to families whose children have cancer. And today we're having our annual Halloween party. So the kids come with the siblings and they just enjoy the day. We have a magician, we have clowns that come in, we have a DJ. And we have so many volunteers that spend hours decorating, as you can see when you go into the room.
The highlight for many of the children was to meet WWF World Champion Mick Mankind Foley. All right, we know you were at the last event. Can you tell us a little bit about this one and how it's going?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. It's the Halloween party, and I'm dressed up as a washed-up, beaten-up wrestler, and doing a pretty good job at it, I think. But this is, I saw it in the flyer that they had the Halloween party coming up, and I hadn't been in an event in a little while, and been keeping in touch with some of the kids here, and I've met a couple of friends today, right? New friends, and I think it's going really well. And it's great to see the parents get together and have such support in the community, you know, for these kids who've been through a lot more than I have. And they seem to think I'm cool, and I'm the one who thinks they're really cool.
Are you having a good time today?
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
What was your favorite part?
Me and him today. All right.
I told him to say that.
And as you can see, it was another successful event for Why Me. For Marlborough Magazine, I'm Linda Brophy. Back to you.
Good job, Linda. And if anyone out there would like to do a story like Linda Brophy did for Marlborough Magazine, please give us a call here at 481-1373.
Still to come on Marlborough Magazine. Winter is back in the air, and that means that the flu is back in town. We'll tell you where you can get your flu shots. And we've got a band that isn't a band, yet it is a band. You're just going to have to hear them for yourself.
This time of year, there are certain things you can be sure of, like the bitter cold and lots of snow. Unfortunately, you can also count on the flu being around. That is why there was a clinic held at the Senior Center on Main Street. Shots were given to seniors and Marlborough residents who live with a chronic illness. If you still haven't received your flu shot, there is still time. Just head on over to the Marlborough Hospital on Union Street, where they'd be happy to give you one.
Here at Marlborough Hospital, we're offering the flu vaccine to the public. Basically, we should have the flu vaccine available October, November, and December. People that are at high risk need to come in and get a flu shot. That would be anybody, senior citizens over the age of 65. Also, individuals that have chronic diseases such as high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes. You can just give us a call here at Marlborough Hospital, and we'll be happy to give anybody a flu shot.
To many people, Halloween is a very scary holiday. However, being without food is even scarier. Well, that is where Marlborough resident George LaRasa comes in. In the past couple of years, George has gone all out while decorating his home for Halloween. It's gotten so big that people have made a point of stopping by for visits. With all the attention, George and his family thought they could do something for the community.
With all the people you have coming here, let's get a food drive going. So my wife jumps on the internet and she wrote up a piece of paper as to what we were doing. And then it escalated from there. The donations have really been pouring in. But I hate to be greedy, but it's just not enough.
As of the first week in November, the food will be delivered and the decorations will be taken down. George will keep his donation box out throughout the month, so it's not too late to help out. And if you love decorations, make sure to remember to go by 107 Prospect Street next year.
Every year it's going to get bigger. I can't really disclose what I'm going to do, but next year the rest of the driveway will be done. So it's big plans. A couple new ideas.
Our numbers make a difference. That's the theme of the crop walks that are happening all over the world, and including here in Marlborough. The word CROP stands for the Christian Rule Overseas Program. 25% of the funds raised go to Marlborough and Hudson food pantries, while the remainder gets sent, along with other crop walk funds, to countries all over the world. The money is meant to help fight hunger to the development of self-help programs. While these are very worthy causes, Lauren Keenan-Meethner hopes that they will also enlighten those who are more fortunate.
It's a 5-mile walk and it's for World Church Services, but 25% of the money goes split between the Marlborough Food Pantry and the Hudson Food Pantry, and the kids and the adults involved are walking around. They've gotten sponsors, and also what Crop Walk does is they educate farmers for better agricultural programs all around the world, in Africa, Asia, Europe, and even in America. And other funding things they do are to try to help people make a better lives for themselves. They do also make direct food donations per specific countries, and it's all in you can go to their website. They have a website also, but that's basically what we're doing today, is getting the kids in the spirit of thinking about others, and also we're doing something for our community as well as the rest of the world.
To learn more about the crop walks, you can visit their website at www.churchworldservices.com. The Marlborough High School music students had a special guest teacher, the all-vocal group 5 O'Clock Shadow. The modern rock group band from Boston held a master class that taught the kids how to shape sounds that they have never tried before. To truly understand and appreciate the way this band makes it sound like they are being backed up by instruments, well, you're just going to have to take a look.
Can't you see this elevator? But you know it's gonna break. Roller coaster ride inside your mind is what you need to terrify. Don't you know, baby?
When Marlborough Magazine returns, we'll take you to the Marlborough Country Club for a little golf action. And the Marlborough Fire Department and Monarch Supply got together for the second annual Fire Safety Day.
When raising money for charity, holding an event is a good way to get people involved. Throw in a round of golf and they'll start to come out of the woodwork. Anita Morrow knows this. That is why for the past 5 years, the First Lady of Marlborough has held the Harvest Golf Tournament at the Marlborough Country Club. 5 years ago, the tournament benefited just one non-profit organization in the city. That number has now grown to 5 with the Marlborough Food Pantry, the Friends of the Marlborough Public Library, the Cultural Exchange Program, the Colonial Garden Club, and the Holiday Helper Program.
This tournament came together very nicely this year. It seems like we got it down pat, I guess, as to what we have to do, and the response was great. It was wonderful.
It's been growing on an annual basis. This year's the largest one. She's got, I think, over 120 players, some good corporate sponsors, and it's all for a good cause.
Sticking with the golf theme, the first annual Mother-Son Mini Golf Classic took place at Trombetta's Creamery. The event was sponsored by the Lions Club in Marlborough. Since there is always a father-daughter dance, there were a few requests for something involving mothers and sons.
Today is the first Mother-Son Golf Classic, as we titled it, to go with our father-daughter dance that we have every year. And the dads always ask when we're doing something for the sons. So this is what we've come up with to give it a try. And it appears to be a success for the Lions Club and for the families.
Along with mini golf, the mothers and sons were able to make their own sundaes and do a little building in the wooden craft shop. The Monarch Supply Store and the Marlborough Fire Department held their second annual Fire Safety Day. Here is Captain Ron Ayotte.
We talk about Fire Prevention Week as being the week for fire safety, but actually fire safety is more than just 1 week out of the year. It's more than 1 month. It should be practiced every single day. Fire safety is important. Fires in the United States cause millions of dollars each year in damages, causes hundreds and thousands of injuries and thousands of deaths each year that are needless, that can be avoided, can be prevented just by using a few simple devices such as smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, natural gas and propane detectors, and fire extinguishers. First, I'd like to talk about smoke detectors. Smoke detectors are the best thing you can have in your home. You'd be surprised the number of people who do not have them in their homes. They think they're too expensive, they go off all the time. People have no idea of how fast a house fire grows. Fire roughly doubles itself in size every 30 to 60 seconds. So roughly speaking, if I took this piece of paper and this were a fire, Within 30 seconds, it's the size of 2 sheets of paper. Another 30 seconds is the size of 4 sheets, then 8, then 16, then 32, then 64, then 128. A house can go from a small fire in a trash can to fully involved in less than 5 minutes. And when you think about that, and you think about smoke detectors and how important they are, this tells you what you need. Smoke detectors warn you about smoke and fire. Everybody knows the Hollywood cliche. They see a fire on TV, the hero runs in, he's standing up, he can see everything. You see flames, you don't see smoke. The hero runs in, grabs the damsel in distress, throws him or her on her shoulder, and runs off and saves the day. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Hollywood. The reality of fire is fire grows on an exponential rate. Roughly doubles itself in size every 30 to 60 seconds, which means the small fire in a trash can spreads to a kitchen, spreads to the rest of the house in less than 5 minutes. A fire is hot, it's smoky, it's dark, you cannot see your hand in front of your face. A smoke detector is the cheapest insurance you have for getting out alive. Smoke detectors should be mounted on every level of your home. The newer construction, they have smoke detectors in every single bedroom as well as outside of every sleeping area, and one on every level of the house. When a smoke detector goes off, it goes off for a reason. It's giving you a warning. Could it be a fire? Could very well be. Could it be a false reading? Dust? Water vapor from a shower tripping it? Most certainly. That can happen. But whenever you hear a smoke detector, it's your job to get out and stay out. Your family's safety is not worth saying, oh, it's a false alarm. And unfortunately, it happens every day in this country. People ignore fire alarms. People that live in apartment complexes, they have a lot of false alarms. People burn food on the stove, they have cooking smoke, steam from a shower. Instead of opening a window or turning on a fan to vent it, they open up the hallway door. They open up the hallway door, trips the smoke detectors in the hallway, and people become desensitized to fire alarms. They think, okay, it's just another false alarm. Well, last year at the Wayside condominium complex, people thought that too. It's just another false alarm. That was a 4-alarm fire that destroyed 11 apartment units, heavily damaged the rest of the building, and they just started re-inhabiting that structure within the last couple of months or so. It was a dangerous fire, and took a lot of manpower and effort and a lot of mutual aid to put that fire out. Smoke detectors, where should they be? A lot of the companies, their brochure says you can put them on the wall. We prefer them on the ceiling. Smoke and heat rise. Smoke and heat rise to a ceiling level, and eventually the ceiling will block the smoke from rising, and then the smoke will start banking back down. If you had a smoke detector mounted 1.5 feet, 2 feet down on a wall, it would take until the smoke hits that level in order for this to go off. You want them on the ceilings. You want your smoke detectors mounted on the ceilings. Any new construction, that's where you're going to find them. You're going to find smoke detectors mounted on the ceilings of your home. From that point, they're easy to check. You can push a button, test them at least once a month. You need one outside of every sleeping area. If your home has 2 separate sleeping areas, some older homes might have had a room converted. It used to be a dining room or a spare room, an office, and now somebody's turned that into a bedroom. You need a smoke detector outside of that area. You need a smoke detector outside of every sleeping area, and one on every level of your house. In the basement, obviously. Your basement, that's where your heating units are. You have your water heater, your furnaces. If there's any problems with that, smoke detector is going to activate the system and let you know that you have a problem, to let you get out of your house and get out safely.
Well, that's our first issue of Marlborough Magazine. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to help out in any way in any part of this program, please call us at 508-481-1373, and you can ask for Dan or Mike. And we're going to leave you with a look at the senior singers. I'm Michelle Creswell. Thanks for watching.